this week's episode of Chatty Sparkly Runners comes from underneath Rodney's pillar. It's a bit gloomy, even though the sky is bright blue ahead.
It's very sunny everywhere else, but we seem to...
Trust me to choose a gloomy place. So, welcome. Thanks for watching. What are we going to talk about this week?
Oh, we're going to carry on talking about how to build up your running. If you remember, we talked about beginners getting up to the hour last week.
Okay, so we're going to how do you progress on from that beginners and try to be specific.
Yeah, we're being a bit more specific, a bit more guidance for people. And I did think that most beginners or runners that have started and they get up to that 60 minutes, what are they thinking about doing? They're beginning to think about doing events, aren't they?
Yeah.
And what's out there for them? Apart
10K.
from 5Ks, it's 10K. So how about building up to doing your first 10K?
Building up to doing. Okay, so let's start running.
Okay.
We've got to be careful because it's a very bumpy path. Oh no, the camera's going to be bumping all over the place. So, yeah, two things.
Well.
I know, two things to remember. First is, like we said last week, you've got to start from where you are, not where you want to be. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, you know, let's say this is the start point of someone that can run an hour non-stop. And if they want to get round to 10K happily and
you want to enjoy it.
Yeah,
you're not out there to get a cracking time.
Yeah, but you might
10K.
Yeah, but you might get a good time.
You might, yeah.
So you've got to start where you are. So you've got to build from where you are. I know that's stating the obvious, but I think it's worth saying. And the other thing I think is, when you're building up, always keep an eye on your vitality, and because running should give you more energy.
You mentioned that last week.
Running should give you more energy, it shouldn't give you less energy. So if you're feeling weary all the time, chances are you're either doing too much or not having enough recovery. So if you're feeling weary all the time, come back a bit or have an extra couple of days recovery.
Yeah, building up, it's not about sticking to a plan that you must stick to all the way through, is it? It's about adapting it and listening to your body.
Yeah, so if they've done an hour non-stop,
right, and they've got thinking, oh, I might fancy doing a 10K.
They'll be doing perhaps an hour non-stop and then 2 40-minute runs in the week.
Yes.
So they might be doing 3 runs, might they? So, like the person that's building up to an hour, again, the long run is the most important. So if you're going to take an hour to around 15 minutes,
or even an hour and a half perhaps.
An hour and a half for your 10K, I think it's good training. You don't have to, but it's good training to get your long run up to an hour and a half.
It's good training anyway, isn't it? In terms of what it does in your body.
Yeah, what it does, because it's the time out there that you're doing it for is really important.
Yeah,
so
you don't need to think, all right, I've got to get round it. You don't need to go out and practice the 10K. Lots of people do that.
No.
You don't need to do that. Don't worry about it. You'll get around it. Take our word
Yeah,
for
lots of people do that. You don't need to do it. You can do it if you want to, but you don't have to. So, how do you get up to it? You've got up to an hour. And it's a case of what are you going to do? Increase a little bit every week, 10% rule. And I would suggest that you improve it, increase it by volume, and then...
be specific. What do you mean?
So increase the volume for 3 weeks. And then after 3 weeks, if you feel like you've got plenty of energy and you can do more, do more.
Right, okay, well let's just nail this.
Okay.
Okay, you say increase the volume.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you what to get
specifics.
to. Okay, so if you're going to do a really nice 10K, then your week might be, let's say 5 times a week of running. So you would do 5
times a week is
quite a lot, yeah, but I'm going to give 5 times a week to start with, and then I'll say which ones to drop. So this is where you're going towards. You'll go to a 90-minute long run.
Okay, so this is your aim at the end.
Yeah, you'll do a 60-minute run.
Yes.
You'll do a 40-minute run with some breathy in it, and we talked about what breathy running is. So a 40-minute running with 20 minutes of breathy in it. Then you'll do one sort of up to an hour of chatty sparkly running with the sparkles in it.
Okay.
And then any more running you do after that is beneficial if you can recover from it. So if you're doing 5 times a week, then that 5th run is going to be a 35-minute jog.
It's going to be very, very, very easy.
So how do you build it up?
Yeah.
So the first thing you do is you're on 3 times a week from the previous one.
Yeah, you're on a 60 and 240.
Yeah, so you build the 60 up 10 minutes,
For 3 weeks.
for 3 weeks
Yeah.
to 70, and then you build it up again to 80
Another
next 3 weeks, and then you get up to 90. And once you're up, so after 9 weeks you're on to 90.
Yeah,
So
you should be beginning to
9
feel the benefits
weeks.
of that as
Yeah,
well.
yeah,
once
you will
get to
do.
that.
And then once you've got to that, the next step up is to, I would put 15 minutes breathy into one of your 1 hour runs.
Yeah. Okay, so don't add the breathy until you've got that nice long
Yeah.
90-minute run.
And then after you've got your breathy and your long runs started,
Oh,
hello. Then what you can do then is add another 40-minute chatty run for your 4th time of the week. And then if you want to add a 5th time, it's a 35-minute jog.
Yeah, well, when you're adding those extra runs, really do listen to your body, I would suggest.
Yes, and so here's the
Don't
key.
overdo
The
it.
key is the same for everybody,
Yeah.
whether you're an international marathon runner. His most important run of the week is long run.
Yeah.
Get that up. Then the other things you've got to think about is you want a real variation in speed in the week, but you don't want it to be out of breath.
Yeah.
So you don't want it to
You're
be
talking about aerobic.
yeah,
aren't
but
you?
so you can have your breathy run in the week and you can do your sparkles, which is super fast, but you don't go long enough to get out of breath. So you do have a real range.
Yeah, so you've got chatty. Your long run's going to be very super chatty,
Yeah,
isn't it?
first 30
So you've
minutes.
got super chatty, you've got your sparkles, and you've got a little bit of breathy,
Yeah.
which
I
is
thought-
still just about speaking in a whole sentence.
I thought we were going to get to the finish of this. This is
This is a really long.
yeah.
isn't
The
it?
reason why we've come here is because this is the Breed and Fell race. This is the last mile of the race.
Desperate to say that. I said nobody's going to know what the
I
freedom
love
race
it.
is.
I love it. I missed it this year, so we've come back. And the last mile is down this massive forest track that you're seeing, and it's a lot steeper downhill than it looks. So,
Okay, so has that covered it?
yeah, I think so, yeah.
So
And,
if you can do that, so you said about 9 weeks to build up the long run, didn't you?
yeah.
So how much
And
time
then-
should you give yourself altogether?
Well,
So you can have a go at
another 3 weeks to do your breathy, and
Yeah.
perhaps 3 weeks to add the extra run into the week. So by 15 weeks, you're easy.
Yeah.
You're easy ready by following that progression, and,
Yeah.
and you don't have to go that fast, obviously. As in, you don't
You don't
have
have
to.
to do that many weeks, you
No.
mean?
I'm saying you
don't
can
go
take
that fast.
you can take longer
Yeah.
to progress if you want to. I wouldn't think about trying to cut it any shorter.
Okay.
Really, I think that would be it.
Yeah, so I would say don't rush to do a 10k.
If you're
You know,
if you're
keep
there,
going, keep going. If you love events, keep going with your 5ks and
yeah. And what about if you're a
shorter
5?
events.
You want to improve your 10k time? Well, then all you need to do to start with is
So you've done one or two already. And you
yeah.
want to
What
improve
you want to do to improve is you just build up the amount of chatty running that you do if you can. So you definitely put a 5th run in, and then you swap one of the runs from a chatty into a breathy. So you might do 2 breathy runs in a week.
What about a chatty, sparkly, breathy fartlek instead of a...
No, I'd keep
You wouldn't do that.
I'd keep it chatty sparkly,
Right.
and I'd
You'd
keep
always
the
keep the fartlek just chatty and sparkly.
yeah, I'd keep the breathy for those people. Yeah, I keep it. Yeah,
I can probably see why. It's
yeah, they go a bit too.
difficult to regulate your pace.
Yes, and
Yeah.
the breathy might make them a bit more tired, and they won't get the benefit out of the
Okay,
chatty.
I see that. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So that's we have got a book coming out.
When you sit down and finish it, Colin, yeah.
Well, we're nearly finished. I'm thinking by Christmas. I just need to be taken away somewhere warm for 2 weeks and sat down in a room and
Right.
just said, Colin, finish this book for goodness sake. So that's how, and we have written plans because we did think about
Yeah, there is
should
a
we.
chapter in the
Yeah,
book,
there was a
isn't there?
big debate about should we put training plans in or shouldn't we put training plans in. And
But they will be more like guidance, won't they?
yeah, like I've done
any
today.
training plan.
It's you've got to individualise it. It's all an experiment of one, and what works for some people might not work for others. But yeah, that's good. So
Okay,
that's our get yourself to the
Let's
first 10k. If you subscribe to our YouTube channel, that's great. If you press the bell icon, you'll get a notification when our new videos come up. New videos coming out, they normally come out when? Saturday?
Well, I'm not very good at getting them on YouTube straight away. So,
Ah,
yeah,
okay.
It's a bit erratic. But
So they come onto
I'll try and
Facebook
improve
first,
that. They come on Facebook first, yeah.
and then they go onto YouTube sort of midweek after.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I'm weeks behind on Instagram.
Okay, good. Well, thank you very much for watching. If there's any questions, post it in the question sections on the Facebook group.
Yeah,
Don't-
just join
yeah,
our group.
join the-
for,
join the
advice
Facebook
and
group.
Guidance. Share your 10k experience.
Yeah,
as well.
yeah. How did you get on in your first 10k?
I know we've had somebody
just tell
recently
us.
that did a 10k, their first 10k, and
Yeah.
thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
it's
it's all about
great.
enjoying it. You've got to
Yeah, get up there
prepare
and
yourself so that you enjoy it.
be amongst all the other people that are doing their first 10ks.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. See
See you
you
next week.
next week.